Hey, what's up everybody? ForneverWorld here today to do my review of Bleach episode 362, and it is going down in this episode. We got action, we got the suspense is finally clearing, everything is being brought to light, and it was just a really action-packed episode, I gotta give it that. Ichigo, if it wasn't for the special abilities of the Fullbringers, I'd imagine Ichigo could probably take them fairly easily. But since they have those special abilities, that's what really makes them, somewhat formidable enough to, separate everything. Because basically in this particular episode, okay, everybody's back. We got all the Shinigamis, and we get the explanation of what happened, exactly why apparently Urahara went down to, Captain Yamamoto and explained the situation. And Captain Yamamoto, back in the past, he would have never ever done this. He would never have granted permission to to get the sword and put the energy in to give to Ichigo and everything. But Ichigo did, and that's one thing I could say about Ichigo about this particular series, is that he did indeed change a lot of people. He changed the entire Soul Society for what it is today. When people say, "Oh, why do the captains and all these people look different when for the past 100 years they were looking the same?" And that's because Ichigo changed them. He brought life, he brought something different and changed these people that were set in their ways, Captain Yamamoto, for example, he would have never granted permission to go give power to Ichigo, revitalize his Shinigami abilities, but they owed him that. He felt like we owe him that, and it'll be a travesty if we just trample all over our debt to him. So he changed Captain Yamamoto even, and that's something pretty awesome. And so that's the whole reason why they were brought there. Well, one of them. Second reason is we find out in this particular episode, if you only watch the anime, of course, we find out that Genjo basically was the former substitute Shinigami, and the laws that kind of granted Ichigo the power was because they were already set in place for when Genjo was a Shinigami, substitute. That was already he was I guess the first one, I'm assuming, since the law was set because of him. So Genjo was the first substitute Shinigami, and then Ichigo was the second one, and that's why the whole law is set in place when Yukitake gave him the badge all those years ago and stuff like that. So everything kind of was explained with that, and stuff like that. And this episode really again just kind of push the story forward, and I like the pacing and everything. Pacing is just perfect, to be honest with you. They're pacing it out real nicely, about couple chapters and a half, maybe a couple chapters, a couple pages, and spread out real nicely. I like to see Orihime and Chad in this particular one, and it was explained a little bit more thoroughly in this one than in the actual manga, because in the manga it kind of just seems like Urahara and Ichigo's dad just come, hit them, and they fall, and that's it. And it's like, wait, what? They've been in so many epic battles, and a hit to the neck knocks them down. But Tsukishima was messing with their minds real bad, adding tons more memories. He gave Chad the pendant. He raised Orihime. He was really messing with their minds. They were just shaking there, looked like they about to have seizures, and that's why Urahara and Ichigo's dad were able to take them down easily, because they were already distorted in the mind. All it was a chop to the neck that took them down, and it was explained real nicely, and everybody's safe, so now Ichigo could go wild. And Ichigo, oh man, he could easily take them out, honestly. If it wasn't for their special abilities, he could take them out, because he does one big sword swipe, and that he was holding back because he didn't want to kill anybody, and they all just went flying and everything. But since the special abilities, and Yukio with a stupid game, it looks like a PSP in his hands, he basically turns everything into a video game, and they all get separated. And I laughed when Zaraki said, "No!" It was really funny. He's like, "No, he's too weak, give me yours." He's telling him to switch with Byakuya, and then they get teleported. And I was just like, Zaraki, he's not complaining for anything. He's complaining because he wants a better challenge. And he's just looking at him. But everything was set kind of right, in my opinion. Had the table's been switched and Zaraki was switched with Byakuya, I think he would have a way worse time, and he could have lose, because you gotta remember Tsukishima is he can switch your pass quickly with one swipe, and Zaraki don't care. He'll take 1,000 swipes. He would, just so that he can grab your neck and go crazy. So I think that the pairings actually were in their favor, in the Shinigami's favor. And it's Giriko versus Zaraki. That's what, the ending of the episode, and Giriko turns into this huge monster, and I'm just like, wow, really, dude? You look like the Hulk. Come on, stop it. And he's like, yeah, you want to call me weak? He thinks he got the upper hand because he got the size, and size doesn't always matter in a fight, especially when you're going up against a beast like Zaraki, Kenpachi, and he proves it. A couple sword swipes, and that's the end of the fight, as Zaraki just looks beast and just like an epic pose right there, like, wasting my time, man. Zaraki purely owned this episode. Definitely my favorite part is Zaraki Kenpachi automatically. I remember when I read this in the manga, I was fanboying in the episode because Zaraki Kenpachi is a beast. You can't go wrong if you're throwing Zaraki in a fight. I'm not gonna lie. It's just, that was an epic part. And again, two of my favorite moments is when he sliced up Giriko, and even before that when he was like, no, change with me, he's too weak. I was just laughing. Hilarious stuff. Great episode. Ichigo, showed that he got his little cockiness. The thing about Ichigo is when he is down and stuff like that, he uses that part that when he's down and out, and then he builds up the anger inside of him. So when he's back up again, he feels even more angry and stuff like that. So he's just like going wild, and I can't wait to see the fight animated between Ichigo and Ginjo, and everything is looking really nicely in place. I wish they would have shown a little bit of Uryu, maybe some filler and stuff like that, but can't complain because we did see a lot of different things this episode. Got to see my favorite Rukia. She's gonna be matched up with Ruka. Don't want to talk about that right now. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody, but not looking forward to that fight, unfortunately, my favorite. And overall, just, again, it was a great episode. But let me know what was your favorite part. Was it Zaraki, Kenpachi, the Beast? Everything that he did in this episode. It wasn't too much, but he's the type of person, he does a little bit, and it speaks a lot. Or was it, a bunch of other cool stuff? Ichigo knocking them all down, learning about Yukitake, and that Genjo was the first substitute Shinigami. Let me know in the comment section below, or with a video response, give me your thoughts on this particular episode. If you got a review of it, you want to respond to it, I'll be more than welcome to check it out and watch it. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for Zaraki Kenpachi, the Beast Shinigami, one of the best, one of the most beast fighters out there in Bleach. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, have an awesome day, people.